Hey everyone, it's Kristen from the Wreath Lane, and we are working with this awesome mushroom by Alex from Shop Viure. I had her customize this according to what I want, and you can do the same. So I'm so excited about this. We got other mushrooms, some from Burlap and Bling, some I've just had on hand, some from Wreath by Waldo. There's a mix of stuff between everybody. So that being said, I got my 24-inch base switched into an oval, and I have my curls cut. I'm going to probably do curls throughout the whole thing, but I'm going to try to make it kind of minimal, not as much as I've been doing here lately. So yeah, let's start adding our mesh. I do not measure my curls. I just pull and cut to where I think, you know, is good. I don't measure it, I just eyeball it. Some people like their curls bigger than what I do, and I understand that. When you make them smaller, they do have a tendency to fray the ends, like stick out and then fray. So I try to make sure I tuck them in there nice and tight to keep that from happening, but it does happen time to time, so keep that in mind. I'm sure a lot of you guys know how to do mesh and you have your own technique, so whatever works for you, whatever feels right. There's no wrong or right way to do mesh. I know Jen has a nice technique, so if you're not part of the Burlap and Bling Glam group, then you can totally join and learn her technique. I'm trying to do this outward, so this was the end of the roll, so there's a little weird ending right there, so it's a little odd, but I'm trying to do it where you guys can see it. That's the kind of like how Emily does hers. I don't know how she holds it out and does it like that. That just feels so awkward to me. But again, you know, everybody's different. Everybody has their own way of doing things, and that's okay. Whoop. I do have a kind of a weird mix of mesh curls cut. I thought I had more of the red, pink, this one right here. I thought I had more of that, but it turns out I only had a few curls left. So I pulled another color, but I think it'll work out in the end. Mesh really isn't to be seen unless you're just doing a simple mesh design. So when it's not really meant to be seen, it doesn't really matter. So like that right there, how the ends are sticking out, that's because I cut this too short. This mesh isn't as thick as the other. I'm obsessed with this mesh. It's just like the red and pink, like the same material. It's really thick, so because of that, I do cut them a little smaller. Just grabbing 2 pine ties and twist them up. Think of it as like a bread tie when you're twisting your bread off. It's the same concept. So I apologize in advance if I have like the sniffles or I'm clearing my throat. I'm not completely over the COVID. I feel a lot better than what I did. The last time you guys saw me, I thought I was getting better, but then I just took a turn for the worse, and it got pretty bad. But I'm feeling a lot better now. Just still dealing with like the aftermath, like fatigue, congestion, stuff like that. So if that happens, I apologize. It's not too uncommon with me with the sniffles though. I have like really bad allergies, so I tend to have the sniffles. But yeah, this one is overlapping a little too much. I'm gonna bring it over. After I finish off with this curl, I'm going to go ahead and finish out the rest on my own because it's just so repetitive and time wasted. So I'm going to cut it off, pause the video, I'm going to finish this out, and then we'll go on the top. Alrighty guys, the outside is filled up. We're going to start doing the inside up top. I have at least 15 curls cut. I think that will be more than enough. Hopefully we don't have to use that many. You're going to hear Friendly whining. Billy just left. And anytime one of us leaves, he'll whine for some time. So apologies if you hear that. Oh, I hear him. Poor guy. It's like the most pitiful sound too. Say, I want to go. I'll do the same thing as I did with the outside. I'll do so much with the up top and then finish it out myself. Unfortunately, I don't have any more of the red and pink. So apparently I only have 3 curls of that. So up top is just going to be all the other colors. But that's okay. It's the most pitiful cry. So how's everybody doing? What's everybody working on? I think I'm going to do more Valentines this year than I did last. I have a feeling they're all going to sell. And then too, I got to get some stuff ready for the booth. After this one, finish it out. Depending on how much space there is in the middle, I might put a curl right there too. So you'll see when I'm done. All right, guys, see you in a minute. It's all in. So let's go to one of our filler sprays. And you guys know this spray. So I'm not going to make you watch me do it all, just because it's too time consuming, and you do not have to do this. But what I'll do is I pull each section away. There's 3 sections. The foam pieces I'm not a fan of, so I clip those away. Okay, so I'll clip those away, and then any little areas where I can clip those flowers away, like if it has enough stem down here, then I'll clip those away too. If the stem is too short, then I leave it. So I'm going to do that to each section. 3 sections, cut the foam pieces away, and then the flowers away. So I'll have 6 sections in total. And if you can't get the flowers away, that's fine. Okay, so one of the sections I couldn't get any of the flowers away, and then another one I was only able to get 1 little flower away. So they're not all the same. Let's start off with one of our longer ones. Some sections are going to be shorter, some are going to be longer. Start off with the longer one down there. Another longer one. Should take one up top as well. That one's kind of going into the background. And then this one's going to go up top. You can open them up, bring some to the front, some to the back. And you can do all that at the end too, if it's easier that way. Okay, we got 2 sections left. Let's take this one over here. Boy, these went real quick, didn't they? Well, maybe I will pull one more so I can get some up top, you know? Or I could just use the flowers for up top. There we go. Bring some up. Those berries forward. I'd like for those berries to show. Put some glue on them. I want to pull another one. So I have other like stuff that's meant for filler as well. One being this bush. I have not really checked it out to see what it's like. So they're not push-ups. You might want to have one or two in long, but for the most case, they're going to be cut in half. So let's just grab one real quick, and you can continue to use that filler. It would be cheaper to use the other one as well. So I'm just going to cut it in half and see what kind of coverage I'll get from this, and decide if I want to grab a couple more of those. And I think I do, guys. Even though I have baby's breath and I have 2 of these, I think one more would be really beneficial. And we also have this too that we're using. So all that stuff really will help out. But I basically used everything on the edges, and I still need some more on the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another one. And then I'm going to do the same thing. All right, let's add this last one. Granted, we could keep using more for sure, but I don't want to overwhelm it since I have another bush for it. But if I had enough of this, I would just use all of this. So recommend using this 100%. I do know, well, don't quote me, I think this particular one, the red, pink, and white, is sold out, but there is a pink one available that is perfect for this. I don't have any of it on hand, or I'd use it. I actually used what I did have of it in a Cupid design. So this is what I have, and again, I don't have a lot of it, so yep. Okay, and then those flowers are going to help too. So we needed just a little bit more. All right, let's go to our other bushes. Again, I would just keep using these. So I guess you can just avoid what I do with these and just keep doing what I've been doing with these, and then just fill in your design with those, okay? And or you could use all of this, or a mix of this and that for all of the filler, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to do it all with you guys because, again, I wouldn't recommend using this. I'm going to save 2 whole of each color. I have red and pink. Now I'm really short. Put those to the side, and then I want to cut each other stem in half. So I'm going to pause this video and do that. If you want to keep using that, I would say it would take, I'd say 3 more bushes will be plenty in place of these. So yeah, 3 more. And so the next thing, before we start adding whatever it is you're going to continue to use for that, or I mean in place of the other one, we're also going to get this ready. So you could just use the same 2 to 3 sprays for all of it. Something else that would also be a good replacement for that other bush would be the baby's breath from Burlap and Bling. They're like really long. We are using some baby's breath that's going to be the substitute for, but you could just use more of it. So we've got some baby's breath that's just like the ones they have, but it's a little bit shorter. So the ones that you can get from Burlap and Bling, you just cut down a little bit, and you could probably use 1 bush in place of this. There's a red and there's a pink, so you could use 1 bush per 1 bush of this. It would equal out the same. and maybe even have some left over to use for the actual baby's breath that we're using. I hope all that makes sense. Okay, so this has 4 sections. We're gonna cut them away some more. Ooh, I hope it doesn't fall apart on me. If it feels like it's gonna fall apart, you could just tear away whatever's holding it together and then wrap it back up. I'm just gonna cut each chunk once. Just look for the thick stem within each chunk and cut that. Here's the thick stem, cut that whole thing away from the rest. Last one. So like this is the big stem. Instead of cutting it, I'm just going to pull this away because I know it's going to fall apart. And twist it up. And we're going to add some of this in with the flowers we cut away. So grab the chunks that have the ferns. We're going to add them in first. And the pieces that are like long like this with these berries. Not these berries, these berries. And then the rest that are like this, put in the pile with the flowers we cut away. These chunks don't have any of those other berries on them. None of them do. Right, let's start adding this. I really want to get this one up top, but I think it'll do more for us down here. And it keeps falling apart. If I could just get it in there, then I could add some glue to it and it'll all stay together. I'm going to bring this down here because we need a little more down here. Telling y'all, this is gonna be so cool once all said and done. Okay, now let's go to, yeah, you know what, let's go ahead and add this. Typically I would add this in first and then this on top of it because you see more of it, but I kind of want to dull it down a little bit. I know that's odd, but I'm going to do it. Let's save these 2 chunks for up top. That way we do still get some of them up top and then some underneath. You can always add these into smaller chunks. You can pull each little section away, add them in separately to make it all go further. So you do not by any means have to add them in like this. This would be great for right here. Now let's go to these. Then we're going to add some of the greeneries pieces on top of it. I have never gone about it like this before, but I really want this to kind of be like a, I don't know how to explain it, a greenery, like mossy with a pop of color. Enchanting. You can get some of these on the edge. So depending on, you know, what you decide to use, basically you just add it to your liking, choose what you like to your liking, and you can cut it based off of the way I'm cutting it, kind of follow that technique. But basically all you need to do is just fill in your wreath with your greenery, florals, or whatever. And then follow the template with the focal pieces. Couldn't think. Last one. Let's put you right there. There's a couple like little individual ones. I think these came from the two sections I couldn't cut the flowers away from. Just twist them up together. And we need a little something over here. Okay, now let's go to our greenery forget-me-not pieces. So I cut each one in half. This half, the ones I'm going to use first, are the bigger half. We're going to do some overlapping and then filling in, doing some edges. And I still have the 4 that I left long just in case I need some stuff. I need some chunks that are bigger. I really cannot think right now. It's the COVID brain. At least I'm going to blame it on that. Again, we're just filling it in. You'll more than likely have to trim the long ones, but I like to be safe and have them just in case I need them. Know what I mean? It's really easy to forget about the edges. Looks like I've basically been adding all the pink. You know what? Let's save the shorter pieces for the edges and start bringing some of these up top. I might save 2 of the long ones for after I get the mushrooms in, to put some in around them, like it's growing out up around it. That makes sense. I think after this we're going to put our mushroom in, our big one at least. Yay! Okay, now let's go to the short pile. Oh, that one looks like it's pretty big. I'm going to put it over there. And the rest, you can see they're a little bit, this is about the size of the top half, and this is the shorter half. These would be really good for the edges because I don't want the design to get wide. There's nothing more that I do not like. I like the oval shape. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just personal preference. It's what my eye wants to see. Prefers. I don't know. I'm just talking at my butt now. I know I'm excited for it though. Let's get one on here. I need some on the edges. Got 2 left. Let's get you over there. I'm probably missing some of them with the glue. This one is pretty big. Let's see, can I see that branch and acrylic? I'm going to try to put it in. Come in a little bit towards the middle and bring some of it back. Okay, so let's get our big mushroom in, and then we can see where we need to get around it. Get your ties untied. I've been so excited about this. I've just been waiting on the ribbon to get here, and it got here yesterday. Get those ties to the back. And if I can find a pine tie from the Wreath to twist them off with, then that's what I'll use. If not, then you can go around the Wreath frame. Just take one of those ties that's close by and twist it off around it. You know, just twist it together like you do anything else. And glue all up under there. All the way around. Anywhere it touches. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit of the fabric moss to the bottom of the mushroom. And we may add a little bit later on once we get everything else in place. But because I know I'm going to put some stuff in this area, so I want to make sure I get it there before I do all the other stuff. Just also slightly lining it with glue and then just kind of working it out. You don't want it like too much, you know. The mesh will kind of grab a hold of it too. Maybe even a little bit like up here. So we'll come back to that. Just wanted to make sure I got some in that area. There we go. Alright, so the next focal piece is our other mushrooms. So you can get the large red mushroom from Burlap and Bling, and gosh, I'm so sorry, y'all. They have a new pink mushroom that's perfect for this. I actually have some in transit, but I won't get it until tomorrow, I think. So I really wanted to do this design, so I'm going to go ahead and use what I have on hand, but they have a perfect pink mushroom for it, like perfect. Same size, 2 mushrooms. We're going to go ahead and get those in. I'm not cutting them too short because I'm not sure where I want them yet. Still gives me a decent amount of length to work with. Let's see. I'll go ahead and bend that one a little bit too. Didn't have any plans to add like much Valentines to it other than a heart spray. But then last minute I was like, you know what? I originally planned on adding 2 hearts to this. So I was like, maybe we can add a heart. One of the small ones. And I think Emily is sold out of these, but I think Burlap and Bling still has them. So I thought either a pink or red small heart down here would be absolutely darling. But I can't make up my mind on which color, y'all. But I really wanted to use the red, but the pink is calling me. And then we have this bush and this bush. I don't know if I'm going to add this one. I mainly just want the butterflies off of it. So let's get glue on these. Stop for a minute because I could not make up my mind on whether I wanted the pink or red heart. Uh-oh, pulled something out. And I just went back and forth over it. And I think I've settled on the red, even though the pink is screaming my name. I think it'll look better. So I'm a little bummed out because, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. So we need to go ahead and add, let's go ahead and add these first. I did want to put these last, but I'm going to go ahead and put them in first. And I think this flower chunk right here can be trimmed away. And we'll add those wherever there might be a little touch that is needed, you know, with flowers. And we'll take these little bitty ones And there's still a long piece on it. I kind of want to get near the mushroom because we definitely got to fill in these areas. Let's rotate that. Come in over here. We still got those two long greenery branch pieces that we're going to use to help fill in the round. I'm going to hold on to the little flowers. Now, do we want to keep any of these whole? I know I kept them long because I thought maybe I'd like to have some shooting out here and there. I'm going to trim the bottom three away. So it's not completely in half. There's still some extra in comparison to before. Come in. Same thing. So I'm cutting a little under half away. I'm going to get some kind of like shooting out from the edges, but not too long. Right there. Balancing out the opposite side. Totally, probably put a whole one in right there. I'm going to and behind just a little bit, and I want to take it down here. And those shorter pieces we'll use up around the mushroom. Says we don't need a whole lot sticking out around it. We don't want to cover up the mushrooms. We just want to help everything blend. Blend in with its surroundings. This one might be too long. I probably should have cut it before adding it. That's okay though. So that leaves two little pieces. Gotta fill in that little gap right there. Last one. And then we still have our baby's breath that will help fill in any areas around as well. And then these two little pieces. So I just love these, and I thought these would be cool shooting out on the edge, and it goes with that whole theme, mushroom, mossy, you know. Now I can't say I'll use the greenery on it, but I will use everything else. One cool thing about the greenery though is it's not paper like a lot of sprays are. Well, how did that happen? That was like connected up top on the other one. So this has a little bit of greenery on it. So there's this one, and I'm cool with what's on that. Looks like some is paper and some of it is fabric. The rest of it, you want to use it from filler, then that's cool. You can totally do that. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 4 chunks. So that's what you see on them. I might trim these away and add them in individually. Especially if it's too long for a certain area, which I think this one will be. It's hard to say until I get it in there. I like it. And this one might be okay in its length. I would love to have one down here and one up here. I think I need to get one up here a little more than down there, though. I'm gonna go ahead and make them permanent. So this, you guys kill me if I just clipped away the butterflies. And of course you can use your own butterflies. You can get like a small pack at Hobby Lobby for a couple of dollars, especially if it's on sale. You could get some butterflies from Burlap and Bling. Don't think they're pink, but just about any color would go well with this. So I'm cutting the butterflies away. Okay, butterflies to the side because they'll go on with the mushrooms. Let's grab the rest of our mushrooms. So the Cecil is from Emily's shop. So this is just leftover spray from something else. So I have one red, and then I have the small red. Excuse me, I was trying to chug that real quick. I'm tired, y'all. All right, I think what I want to do with this one is kind of have it out of the way, like it's climbing up over here. I don't know how long I'm going to need my stem for to do that, and then I might have to trim them away and do them individually. You know what I mean? Too tall. I'm going to trim this down a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and do them separately. I might have to reposition it once or twice, guys, to get it the way I like it. I wanted to keep it whole because it naturally does the work for you, you know. But it was going to be too long. I think that might be good. Glue on it. Perfect. Okay. Now, I think I want to use this pink one, probably whole, and like right here, because I want to break up the heart. Let's go ahead and get the heart ready. If neither shop has this particular heart, there are other hearts available, okay? So, and red or pink. So pick your choice, you know. You could use either red or pink. I just bent that stem like that because I just want to get an idea of what it would look like right there. And then it might need to come down a little bit, actually. I'm not going to attach it yet. The little mushrooms, we'll put those in as a nice little finishing touch with the butterflies. So we just need to get our bow in. Maybe some hearts, small hearts, some baby's breath, and maybe one or two more things, and we're done. That red mushroom will go in with the others too. So grab your ribbons and let's go from there. Okay, we're going to start off with this checkered ribbon. Then I have a green, moss kind of like spring green. It's a Vickerman from Burlap and Bling. I don't think Emily has it in her shop, but I could be wrong. Almost ditched this ribbon, but I've literally been waiting on it. This is the whole reason why I haven't done this design yet, is because I've been waiting on the ribbon. So I almost ditched it, but I was like, no, I waited all this time. I'm going to use it. That's about how big I want my bows. Nearly 8 inches on each side. Okay. It is Vickerman. I don't know the color, but I almost decided to just use this and a pink. Now I know Emily got some new Vickerman green ribbons in recently, so she very well may have this color or something very similar to it. I'm gonna have just enough to do a layer up top. I gotta get some like spring and summer pinks. Just like all the pinks I have are like wintry, glam. I need me some good springy pinks. Pinch it off, tie it off. You all ready? Ooh, to add it, we're gonna go right here. Same thing as anything else, twist it off. Hopefully I made my loops big enough. Ah. And hopefully I made my tails long enough. I think I did. Okay, scissors. Let's see, the heart. Where we want you, because I might cut my tails depending on that. Let's just go past the wreath. All right. I think I want you to come down a little bit. And I totally could have left these longer, especially when you curl them, you know. So that's my bad. But you can always add more tails too if you want. And I very well may do that. Okay, so I know what I'm going to do. I like the mushroom placement. But that little bitty one right there is going to be hidden. And I want you to see all these. So I'm just going to kind of lightly tear and pull and cut. And then glue. I know what's bothering me. We need another tail down here. That's what it is. Get that in there. Hopefully you see that other small one. We'll put that with the rest of them. And then we're going to get this in. Anything important that you want to be seen, just kind of work it over. Uh-oh. That came out of that, I think. Let's do the ribbon tail first, because then there'll be glue down there. What color do we want? I kind of want to do green. That should be plenty. And I should be able to find a tie in there and just twist it right on off. Yep. Longer than this one. And then this one shorter. Perfect. Probably even be a little bit shorter. Now we can take that piece that came right on out and go right in there. Okay, let's go on to our rest of our mushrooms. And we'll get our little flowers, butterflies, baby's breath, and maybe a heart spray and brunch. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's really not a lot. I really would like to get another red right here to help break up any extra pink. Perfect. And then we got our little red ones. We can do the same thing around that. And I'd like to get some end up over here. That might be a little too high. Let's see. The mesh curl is preventing it from going in the direction that I want. We got these and that little bitty pink one we cut away. I definitely want to get a little bit right in here. And I might just try to stick the whole thing in there. Let's see. Go down a little lower. And let's take one away. There we go, but I think I got it. And then we got our little bitty pink that has like no stem, but we're gonna make it work. Put it with that bundle. And then this little red one. How cute. Okay, our little bitty pinks flowers that were left over. I'm gonna put them over here. And then this one right here to help that bow kind of blend. Boy, I tucked a lot of stuff down going in there. There we go. So it really doesn't need it there now, so we'll just put it right there. Go back around and fluff everything up. Honestly, I don't know if I want to add any. I really planned on adding some on the edges, but I don't want to make it too Valentine's-y, if that makes sense. But I would like to have 3 going up right here. Kind of trailing off with the mushrooms, you know. Okay, that'll work. I really don't want to leave you guys with extra hearts, but I don't think any more than this would be like just kind of overkill, you know. So I'm going to leave one section left behind. I apologize. Cutting that in there. Because I really want this to be versatile, where people can display it all through summer. Really, I don't want that much. Okay, that's to the side. So the pink branches from Emily's shop. I'm obsessed with this, and y'all can kill me, but there's no way I could use a full one in this, or any design really, unless it was like a really big one. So I'm just going to cut a couple pieces away. Let's see how that does. So that's really like 4 pieces. Trim that, and then we're going to trim this. So 4 pieces. I want my longest 2 to be bottom and top. And I'm going to reposition this. I don't think I can get it in the way I want. Hopefully I can hide the branches, I mean the stem, from the hearts. Maybe I take this and go next to it to try to hide them. I'll tell you what, I'm going to come in over here to where you don't see them. I'm sorry, but I got to. I want them in there, but I don't. There we go. Now, let's trim this a little bit. I think we'll get maybe 2 more pieces in. Over there. It's going to make it really whimsy. Let's just take these 2 over here. So it's one big branch. Cut down. Oops, sorry. Trying to hurry up, y'all. So let's bring this one in over here. I need some over here. Yeah. Okay, that's enough of that. Now, baby's breath. Do these push up? They do not. Poo. I'll probably just use one of these because I think 2 bushes would be too much. So I'll probably just stick with one because it's pretty full. Unless there's like some edges that really need some filler. Other than that, I think one will be enough. This spot has been screaming at me for forever now. I need a little bit of something over here. It is getting very Valentine-y, and that's not what I want. Let's get one right here. Perfect. I have to get one right here. One in right here. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of the white as well. And you could cut these in half if you wanted. Get one right there. I think after this, it's just the butterflies. And I don't think we're going to need the red roses. So butterflies, I feel like there's something else. What is it? There's something else. Oh my goodness, what is it? Butterflies. Oh, a little bit of more moss. That's right, a little more moss. Let's bring some of you over here. Let me see you from this direction. And so big, it's hard to see. Let's get one over here. One right here. Last one. Let's get it down here. Woohoo! Okay, butterflies. And a little bit of moss. And that's it, y'all. So let's go to the moss first, because I might put one of the butterflies on top of it. Just grabbing a little bitty pinch. I probably grabbed too much, to be honest. I want to get some right there. I want to try to bring some of that mossy green back in, so I'm going to get some right there. Be so careful. Another little pinch. So it's kind of around the mushrooms and the heart, you know. Those little bitty details make a big difference. Make it look natural. Okay. And I'm going to get a little bit more, a little tiny bit. Back on the big mushroom, probably there. And let's see, maybe over here. And then we can put a butterfly on top of it. I'm going to do it over here. Kind of off to the side. One more little pinch. Extra small. I'm going to get some right there. Okay, let's see. Let's put some of you down. Some of that baby's breath down. There's 3. So let's bring it in over here. One right there. And again, these aren't like the best butterflies. So you could definitely get better ones. Let's see. They're all like crinkled up. Well, hope you can't see it there either. There we go, one right there. The last one, maybe we can bring it like it's coming out from over here. That way it doesn't cover up the mushroom. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so get glue on all your little pieces that I just randomly stuck in really quickly. And y'all, that's it. You could totally add a little bit of moss on that mushroom. I think I'm going to. But anything from like here on out is really just optional little bitty details that you do not have to do. Like the past like 10 things that I've done, you did not have to do. If I didn't mention, you can get this fabric moss from Emily's shop. I think she has 2 colors. I have the light green one. And yeah, y'all, that's it. Let me show you. I think I need to adjust this a little bit better. Look at these tails curled up. I'm just going to slant them. I really should have made this one longer, but it is what it is. I could always add another one if it really is bothering me. I really couldn't make the pink long because I didn't have much of it. So yeah, you decide how you want to do your tails. I think I'm going to leave them all stretched out since they're not very long. And that's it, y'all. Let me show you. It's so cool. It's almost like Valentines meet spring meets Wonderland. You know, it's got a very Wonderland feel to it. You could totally stick a clock in here or some bunny ears. That'd be cool too. Alright guys, I hope you like it. Sorry it took some time. I am slow. And I'll see you guys soon. Alright, bye.